Good day, everyone. I am Clarice Mbata, a member of Group 6 BSHM1C. Together with my classmates, Miss Kabongkal, Miss Quizon, Miss Salvador, Mr. Borwell, and Miss Masukol. We're going to discuss about the topics that is related to our subject, which is the art appreciation. First are the elements of arts. Next is the auditory, combined, and literary arts. Let's proceed to the elements of arts.
Elements of art. There are 7 elements of art that are considered the building blocks of art as a whole. The 7 elements are line, color, value, shape, form, space, and texture. So let's start with the line. Lines are the most basic elements of art. They come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. It is defined as a point moving in space. Examples of these are horizontal, vertical, and diagonal lines. Second is color. Color is the light reflected off of objects. It creates mood and emphasis on specific areas of your design. Color is made up of 3 properties. We have hue, value, and intensity. Hue is the name of color. Value is the color's lightness and darkness, while intensity refers to the vividness of the color. Third is value. Value is the lightness or darkness of tones or colors. Fourth is shape. Shape is a 2-dimensional, flat, or limited to height and width. A shape is the result of enclosed lines to form a boundary. Examples of shape are square, circle, and triangle. Fifth is form. Form are 3-dimensional shapes expressing length, width, and depth. Examples of these are balls, cylinders, boxes, and pyramids. Sixth is space. Space is the area between a round object. It creates a form within the space. Think of it as a music. Space is the silence between the notes of a song. If all of the notes were played together, that would turn into a noise. Lastly, we have is texture. Texture is a surface quality that can be seen and felt. It adds a tactile appearance to a design or layout. The goal of a texture is to add depth to a 2D surface. Texture can be applied graphically through patterns, either digitally created or an image mimicking the desired pattern.
Auditory arts. This includes music in all its form, but not song, opera, and those arts that combine music with literature. Just a medium of visual art is sight, so the medium of auditory arts is sound. What is auditory arts? The arts of arranging sounds in time so as to produce a continuous, unified, and evocative composition as through melody, harmony, rhythm, and timbre. There are 2 categories, music and literature. Example for this is classical Turkish music.
Combined arts is where different art forms interact and create something new and exciting across outdoor arts. Carnival, festivals, spectacle, interdisciplinary work, live art, and participatory and social art practice.
Example of combined arts events: theater, live art, installation, film, video art, mime, documentary, mask, photography, puppetry, and design, evaluating the performance work of professional contemporary companies.
Literary art comes from 2 words, namely art and literature. Art means the expression of human feelings that have beauty value, while literature is an absorption word that comes from discuss Sanskrit, which means guidance, or order in the form of text or voice. So it can be concluded that literary art is actually a writing or story that comes from the expression of human feelings that have beauty values. Literary arts is something in the form of writing or stories that have artistic and cultural value that displays the beauty of speech and language to convey certain meanings. Literary works can be divided into 2 types, namely old literature and modern literature. There are 4 functions of literary arts we have. Conveying criticism. has a function that are intentionally made to convey criticism related to social, economic, political criticism, and so on forth. Second is making a sense of nationalism revived. It builds a sense of nationalism through suggestions that are aroused from the audience, and the suggestion is reinforced by instilling the values and spirit of nationalism and nationalism. Third is cultural preservation. It means to preserve culture, that is the culture that originated from the oral and then enshrined with writing. Lastly is education facility. Indirectly, someone who enjoys literature also learns the values, norms, and teaching of noble mind and characters. These are the benefits of literary art, showing the truth of life in the form of a story in it, enrich the spiritual audience, crossing national and age boundaries, language presented in beautiful and interesting literature. Literature contains culture so that the audience can become more civilized human beings. In literary arts, there are three kinds of poetry, prose, and drama. Poetry is a literary work whose descriptions uses diction or word choice. Examples of poetry are pantongs and ballads. In prose, it is a literary work in the form of descriptions which is delivered in language that is free and is not bound by rhythm, diction, rhyme, and the soundness or rule of speech, and also other literary guidelines. Prose can be used for newspapers, novels, magazines, encyclopedias, and various types of media. Prose can be divided into four types, namely narrative prose, descriptive prose, exposition prose, and prose argumentation. There are two forms of prose, namely romance and novel. And lastly, we have drama. Drama is a form of literature that is described using language that is free and long, and it is presented using dialogue or monologue. Drama has two meanings, namely drama in the forms of script or drama that is staged. Various types of drama: comedy, tragedy, opera, and musical. Comedy is a story that contains humor. Tragedy is a story in which contains difficulties experienced by the character. Comedy tragedy combines both humor and difficulties. Opera musical is a drama that is accompanied by music as a complement to perform of the art.
That would be all for our presentation. We hope that you have learned something about the topics that we have discussed. Thank you and have a great day, everyone. Bye. Merry Christmas.